Welcome to West Travers Bay, and we're literally out on the water in the build-up to tonight's team class. It's team day here in Traverse City. We're just a little way away from the showgrounds, but we're not too far away from catching up with the action.
Yes, it's all hotting up in the championship race. The Strawny Trailblazers lead the way at the moment. They're on 62 points, and they're trailed in second place by the 2021 season champions team iCandy, who are on 45 points. Just 1 point behind them sit the 2022 season champions team Helios, so some big names in the top three.
Keeping it close between them, and a pivot point in the season as well. The transfer window is looming. We'll see who stays on board and who is overboard in the next few weeks, as well as the teams will take some different shapes there as well. So performances are going to be big and key through this week as well to impress.
This is a crucial stage of the season, especially for those teams ranked a little lower down that championship race. Just 2 points separates the teams ranked from 4th all the way down to 7th, with the likes of the Show Plus Northern Lights and the Crusaders, who've both had some podium finishes already, and the race is hotting up for them.
Certainly is, and it is going to be a big night ahead. We're out on the Great Lakes. We're in for great competition. Come and join us, because this is Major League. Leg 4 in Ottawa of the team competition for Major League Jumping, and Roadrunners looking to put themselves back in the game. Focused on a win, it was Erin Ballard for Team Helios, the World Championship Canadian rider, that put them on the podium in top 3. Great Britain's Jessica Mendoza fighting it out with Daniel Coyle to finish in second in the end. And the World Top 20 rider for Ireland continued an amazing run of form to lift the Roadrunners off the bottom of the table, up a few places, and put them back in the hunt for 2023.
Well, welcome back to Traverse City for leg 5 of Major League Show Jumping, and what a competition we have for you here today. This is the ground jury that we have here for today's competition. President John Rush of the USA will be assisted by these very esteemed members as well: Keith Bellotte, Gerald Ku, Ralph Alfano, Philippe Rozon, and Mathilde Negrete of Mexico. They are the judges here, taking the competition forward for us in this stunning venue at Traverse City Horse Shows. These are the 8 teams that will be coming forward today, and as you just saw, the Roadrunners come here on a high from that win in Ottawa, but it's all to play for in the points. We have exactly the same points discrepancy between places 1 and 2 as we did have at this exact stage of the season in 2022, so it's very much all to play for, and it's tight at the top. Team KPF will come into the ring first, and they'll be followed in by Eye Candy. They're sitting in second place right now. The leaders, the Trailblazers, will be third into the ring, and then the winners from Ottawa, the Roadrunners, follow. Spico Spies haven't had the season that they want this year so far. They come in 5th, and then they'll be followed by the Northern Lights. Team Helios, last year's season champions, they come in 7th, but the Crusaders are in pole position. They performed the best in the challenge to decide the order of go in this team competition, and they will come in to the ring last. Great lineup on all of these teams. They're all fielding their very best horses and riders, and it is going to be all to play for here. Well, we had one rider of Team Eye Candy, Paul O'Shea, caught up with us earlier to tell us a little bit about how he feels about this competition. Of course, Eye Candy were the winners of this leg in 2022, and they come here from 2 podium finishes, but sitting in second place. Paul O'Shea is with Stephen Wild to let us know how he feels about the team's chances in this leg in 2023.
Building up to the team class here in Traverse City, and past winners here are the Eye Candy team, and team coach is Paul O'Shea. Paul, talk me through the Eye Candy squad for this one, because you are looking to get back to the top of the table.
We'll be trying our best. Jess Mendoza is on the team, and Amy Miller tonight, and myself with Squirt Gun. Jess was 3rd yesterday in the big class, so her horse jumped really good, so she's in good form. And Amy was clear in the big class yesterday as well, so we hope we have a good team tonight. Jess
jumped a terrific round for you in Ottawa as well, finished 2nd there. She should be coming to the peak right now.
For sure, yeah. Her horse is in great form.
Who's the one that's making you worried? Trelawney Trailblazers, when we look down that list, when we take them down to Dara Kenny, Connor Swale and Daniel Blumen, what would make you sweat in that group? Yeah, all of them. I mean, they have 3 fantastic horses as well. I believe Dara has a 9-year-old Eddie Blue, who might not be as experienced as the others, but he's been going really well. He's already won a 2-star Grand Prix recently, and he's a very good horse. And then Connor has a fantastic horse in Castorana, and of course Gemma W with Daniel Blumen is a great mare. She was 2nd, I believe, yesterday. And for the rest of the teams, the Roadrunners, of course, at top at that last stage. They've got somebody called McLean Ward on their team. Yes, always dangerous, yes. So he's riding First Lady, which is a very careful mare and very quick. So, yeah, and I believe Daniel Coyle is on the team as well. And he won the big class yesterday, so with Ivory, and he's riding Ivory on the team. And then Adrian Sternlick, her horse RAG is a 9-year-old, I believe, and it's a very, very good horse too, very promising horse for the future. It's going to be a tough one. Good luck to you here for the Eye Candy squad. We've got Olympic gold medalists, we've got World Championship riders, all vying for the title in Traverse City. Well, yes, we're getting ready for that competition. Alongside me is the course designer, Alan Wade, a man who's built everything from World Championships to World Cup finals. And here again for the American Gold Cup and for Major League Jumping. Alan, team competition is a little bit different to everything you do, if you like, the rest of the season.
Yes, it's judged a little bit different. The first section is over table A speed, which is basically you have to lead the jumps up and go as fast as you think is suitable for your horse. But then when we change over to the second round, it's table C. So normally I would have a pretty short horse, but I've tried to lengthen it and open it up a bit, so that if you did happen to knock a fence and got 3 seconds penalty, that you have a chance to make it up.
Talk to me a little bit about the round 1 course. You've watched a few horses go individually. You've got teams coming up. It's a different strategy with teams, isn't it? How did you see it playing out? Well,
once you're involved on a team, it's you have a team manager, and he'll dictate. As you noticed, some of the clear rounds in the individual section of the class were quite slow and steady, and just under the time allowed. I think it'll depend how the main thing about a team is to get into the top 4.
What did you glean from round 1? What do you see as the key pieces of the course? You've got to really turn it up.
I think you have to get up a rhythm and keep with it, you know what I mean? And there's plenty of open spaces to turn quicker and shorter, and a bit of a longer striding horse has an advantage.
Now, you've got a very good lineup here. Right? We mentioned some of those names today. You've got Coniswell, McLean Ward, those guys. Do you build it any differently? What have you thought about today, or just let them have at it?
Oh no, they're all top-level riders. You know what I mean? You're dealing with the top riders in the world, members of the top 10. They don't get there without being simple. You know what I mean? Then so I'm just providing the test. They're the athletes that solve the test, and they're taking each other on. They're not taking me on. They're taking each other on.
Absolutely. Well, all of that coming up. Table C, as you say, you've given them a bit of space, which, from a strategy point of view, is going to be interesting for the teams in the Table C.
Oh, they're going to have to motor.
It's as simple as that. And do you enjoy doing these ones?
Oh, well, it's something different. You know what I mean? And it adds a bit of excitement to Saturday night.
Certainly does. Well, Alan Wade, I say, is going to be with us over the next couple of days. You've got a big task tomorrow as well with the Grand Prix, with the American Gold Cup. That's going to keep you busy.
Well, the Gold Cup is one of the most iconic competitions in North America, and I feel it's an honour to design it, and I hope the course tomorrow will do it justice.
Certainly will. Well, let's take a look at the course animation for today's team competitions up on the boards.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take a look at the course here, the set by Alan Wade, of course. They take place over the Southern Archers fence, which is fence 1, up right there at the height of metre 40. It's 8 strides down to the Premier Equestrian Oxer, up to height at a metre 50 there, before it's a left-handed turn to the Major League show jumping upright at fence 3. 9 strides then takes them down to the Major League show jumping double fence. 1 stride in there at 4A and B. And then it's quite a sweeping right-handed turn then along the side where we have quite a lot of spectators. Fence 5 then down 4 strides to the Casino branded upright at fence 6. Slight right-handed curve then to the Stars Design Oxer, beautiful fence there, again up to height at 155 in width and 145 in height. Right-handed again then to the Swans double, 1 stride again in there, and again up to 1 metre 50 and upright to an Oxer before a 5-stride run down to fence 9 metre 50 upright. It's a left-handed turn all the way back around then to the Cabana Coast upright at fence 10. And then 7 strides down to this brown Oxer at fence 11. That'll take some jumping at a metre 55 in width. Right-handed once again then down to another double, the 3rd double on the course, which is the Eagles fence, another 1-strider there. And then 6 strides all the way down to fence 13, which is the Lighthouses to finish. Well, that's the course, but this is how it's all going to play out. This is how it works for round 1.
Major League Show Jumping, the team competition, round 1. How does it work?
8 teams, 3 rounds, and only 1 winner.
Scoring in round 1 is based on faults and time. Faults mean a fence down. That's 4 faults for that. And individual rounds also get a time attached to it as well. So a faults and time score for each individual, but it's not an individual competition.
We have 3 riders per team and all 3 scores count. The best total combined score for each team is what will determine the order from round 1, and the best 4 go through to round 2.
The key is stay above the cut line. It's as simple as that to get into round 2. 4 in, 4 out. It's as simple as that. Good luck.
Well, round 1 will be underway in just a few moments' time. We'll be bringing you the national anthem first, and quite a special display here in the Turtle Creek Casino and Hotel International Ring at Traverse City Hall Shows before we get things underway in this competition. 8 teams coming forward, but only 1 winner. 3 rounds of competition, all 3 riders, of course, taking part in round 1. It's absolutely all to play for. Well, carrying the national colours is the Grand Traverse Sheriff Officer Sergeant Kyle Egleski. And now singing our national anthem is Air Force retired Master Sergeant Angela Hicks, who is known around Traverse City as Mama Tank.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, what a stunning, stunning performance there, Mama Tank. She served America for 25 and a half years and now serves the community as an educator at the Traverse City East Middle School and as a behaviour tech for autism clients at North Arrow ABA. Well, we're just moments away from the first horse entering the arena in this competition. And this is a crucial stage. It's leg 5 of Major League show jumping. And this is where it could all be turned around. Last year, Team Eye Candy were trailing somewhat in the season standings, but a win here really saw them march up the list and head further up. Well, the first horse is now in the ring. This is Alison Robitaille for Team KPF. They go first based on their performance from the draw challenge. Always an interesting challenge set by the Major League show jumping team to determine the order of go. They can't just have it pulled out of a hat. I'm joined today by Philippe Lejeune. Philippe, this is looking like a very exciting competition indeed, and what a crucial stage of the season.
A very good afternoon, Hannah. Very good afternoon to all of you. Yeah, indeed. Going to be a really nice competition. Really nice course designed by Alan Wade with some interesting turns in this first round because they need to go against the clock. They need to speed up. They need to take some risks. And I think we get some faults a bit everywhere out here on this track.
Yes, I think so, absolutely. It's really is quite an interesting course. A few options on the striding all the way around here. 3 double combinations. Quite unusual building from Alan Wade. The time allowed is 79 seconds. Alison Robitaille with Esther Dumorgray then. This is the 3rd time she has ridden this horse on the Major League Show Jumping Team Series. And she's kicking things off for Team KPF, who sit in 8th place in the overall season standings on a score of 18 points. Now, arguably, this is somewhere that Team KPF really need to pull it out of the bag. They are trailing behind even the team in 7th place in terms of points, and so they really could do with a good performance here to get things back on track.
Yes, indeed. Team KPF blocked on 18 points now on the overall standings, so they need to get the positive results today here. They need to actually get inside the top 4 to go on to the 2nd round and battle up maybe for bronze or for gold in last round.
Yes, that would be fantastic. They haven't managed to finish above 6th so far this season. But they do have, of course, a brilliant squad. They're led by Kent Farrington, world number 8 at the moment. Alison Robitaille's got quite some pace up here as well, and that can be crucial. Little rattle, but down to the last now. Again, keeping that pace up, and it's a fantastic clear for her. 73.08 on the clock. She's wasted absolutely no time at all. She's nearly 6 seconds inside the time allowed, and looks a little bit shocked at that result.
No, definitely a really good ride. Really good first impression. When you need to get in the arena as number 1 and to show the way to your teammates. I hope this will give the positive attitude for the next 2 riders. Of course, with this one, Ken Frankton, I think he knows all about experience and how to head up here on this course.
He certainly does. He's got all the experience, and certainly Credence, his ride here this afternoon, is a horse with all the experience as well. He's ridden Credence 3 times now on the team circuit this year. And he's the figurehead, the leader, if you like, of Team KPF.
And to add that, Ken Farrington is the now second on the overall standings, just behind Hildy Keenan on the individuals. And he starts with a really good rhythm there, really sharp turn to the fence number 3.
Again, you know, he's somebody who's really known for speed, and he's wasting no time here at all. He's getting away from the fences so quickly, as he always does.
Of course, it helps Kent really well out when you have a horse with such a reactivity, so fast on the ground, quick, and really careful. Look at that. The horse is really blazing fast in the combination, coming back from the first pole. Really sharp turn there also there. Just slightly under control.
Foot speed that this horse has is so impressive as well. Ah, what a pity. Very quick, but sometimes that can result in a pole down. So great to the last. And just look at that time, 67.75 is outstanding. Oh my goodness me, he is more than 10 seconds inside the time allowed. That's unbelievable. But sadly, one pole down for Kent Farrington. Remember, with the 3 riders to go in this round, all scores count. We don't have any drop score. So the cumulative total so far for Team KPF is 4. Natalie Dean is still to come with .com d'Autriche. This is the first time she has ridden this horse for the team. She made her first start for Team KPF in Toronto, where she rode Oasis van der Buxtaler. There, though, the team finished in 7th. She then also rode in Ottawa with a Cota M and just picked up the 4 penalties. That was a late falling pole, Philippe, at fence 1.
Yeah, she had a little lazy start on fence number 1. Maybe the horse not focused enough on that first fence for the under 25 rider Natalie Dean, world number 70 on the Longines rankings. Top 12 in Toronto, as you said. Daniel mare by Diamant Semi. Typical in the same model, same style as Diamant. Really good away from the combination.
And Natalie's been gaining a lot of experience over in Europe this year. And it really, you know, she's been jumping in a lot of very high-profile competitions. Great to see her now on the team once again, following Toronto and Ottawa.
When you can say that you've been riding in a show like Aachen, and then also you've been representing USA in the Nations Cup of Shoes Meadows, that means a lot, and that means she's one of the really good young talents coming up, and we need to focus on her for the next months and years.
Yes, very much so, very much a talent to watch. And there we just see that very late falling pole at fence 1, the Southern Archers upright once again, because it was the lightest touch and the pole fell, and she was quite some way away from the fence. So really unfortunate for Natalie Dean there. It gives a team total for KPF of 8. Good time though, 2:11.98 on the clock. That's their combined time across the 3 riders, and that's what we need to look out for as well. Team Eye Candy are going to follow them in. Great lineup here again. Jessica Mendoza, Amy Miller and Paul O'Shea. This team were the winners of this leg back in 2022, and of course they were also the 2021 season champions. They sit in 2nd in the overall season standings on 45 points. And what I was talking about earlier was the fact that the points gap between 1st place and 2nd place in the season standings is exactly the same number as it was in 2022, but Eye Candy was some way further down the line. So actually, really, Eye Candy are not a million miles away, and a good result here could see them climb the ranks. They may be able to close the gap. We've seen them perform well here in the past. Can they do it again today?
Yeah, the big difference between the Trailblazers and Eye Candy is that Trailblazers were 4 times into the top 4. Top 3 on the first show, 2 victories on a row, a 4th place in Ottawa, and for Eye Candy 2 times on the top 4, victory on the first stage and a 2nd place in Ottawa. So yeah, to be in the lead and to take up the lead, you need to be always on top of the cut line and take some good results and some points.
Yeah, and in this series, it really is about consistency. As you say, you know, the Trailblazers are the only team who finished in the top 4 in all 4 legs so far. Eye Candy have 2 top 4 finishes, so very much in need of a third.
And Helios is on 3 times on the top 4 to add on this, but as we can see, Jessica Mendoza having a really good round there. Bit more relaxed on the rhythm, not taking all the risk, getting a better distance than Ken Farrington, and there was a bit big, a bit open, and landed on the second pole, and that's important to stay clear.
Super important. She keeps every fence up around this course. 73.45 is not the fastest time that we've had. In fact, it's the slowest round we've had so far, the 4 that we've seen. But crucially, it's a clean sheet for Jessica Mendoza, and I would think she'll be very pleased with that, because she did have quite a tricky performance here at our first visit to Traverse City. She sadly had to retire, and so I'm sure she'll be very pleased to come back with a strong performance for the team, clinching the clear. Amy Miller, though, stalwart of Team Eye Candy. With Cristiano comes next. Amy was the rider who won the gold medal jump-off for Eye Candy in 2022, and she has been just as consistent as we've come to expect in 2023. Last season, she jumped 78% of the time clear for the team, and this year so far she's at 75% clear.
Yeah, we need to add the top 8 in Ottawa, top 15 in Toronto, and also some good results in Spruce Meadows. Also adding that she's world number 123 on the world rankings. So definitely also very good rider with experience. And so far, from what we see here, is that Eye Candy is getting maybe not the fastest rhythm on their rides, but they want to stay clear, and they just want to focus on to be on top of the cut line and to stay on the top 4.
Yes, there's certainly a strategy at play here. It looks like Eye Candy are going for the clears, but I wouldn't say that Amy was hanging around. You know, she still has got a good pace up. She's quick there through the Swans double fence 8 there. You know, she's not wasting time, but not at the pace of the likes of Ken Farrington, certainly. But
yeah, we get to look at the time of Kent. That's making a huge difference. But maybe the tactic of Kent was maybe a bit like, yeah, to go too much on risks and had maybe that rail down, maybe that rail too much, maybe to be on top of the cut line. We'll see it later.
Second time we've seen the double at fence 12 those Eagles causing a problem, and so sadly it is 4 for Amy Miller. 76.94 on the clock, so she's also not particularly fast. That means that Paul O'Shea has a bit to do here. Ideally we need a clear from Paul, and it needs to be quick as well, because of course we have to bear in mind that if 2 teams or more finish on a score of 4, those who are quicker over their 3 riders will finish ahead, and they could well be dropped below the cut line on time. That's something that we saw here last year, as Showplus Northern Lights sadly missed out on a top 4 placing because they were just a little bit too slow. But we'll wait for Paul O'Shea with his very consistent ride Squirt Gun to head into the ring. This pair jumped really consistently in 2022. This year he's ridden Squirt Gun exclusively for the team. Jumped clear here in Traverse City the first time around. Just the 1 pole down in Toronto and 1 down in Ottawa. So again, pretty consistent performances. Paul, known as coach of the Eye Candy team, but he's very experienced as a rider. He's experienced in this team competition, so he'll know what he needs to do here. Well, Paul coming down now to this line with the casino fence there, with the Water Tray Liverpool fence there. That's jumping well so far.
Definitely a good round for the world number 112 on the world rankings. keeping the contact there on the vertical, helping out this horse really well.
Makes a
Short
good
turn
tight
there.
turn back there. Very good turn.
Now we need to watch out for the combination.
Now he needs to be careful here. Again, a good tight turn back. Oof, and he rattles, but it stays up.
And going up to the last fence. And that's definitely a good ride there. Staying on 4 faults.
Yeah, super ride for Paul O'Shea. Doesn't add anything to the team score, so it's 4 for Team Eye Candy. 2 clear rounds and just that 1 pole from Amy Miller. That's seeing them ahead of the game at the moment, but of course 6 teams are still to go. And the next team heading into the ring is very much one that the riders are all watching. It's the Trelawney Trailblazers, and what a squad they have. The depth of their squad is just so impressive. And of course, the fact that they have a lot of riders ranked in the world's top, among the world's very, very best. These 3 are all in the world's top 20. Darragh Kenny, world number 16. Connor Swale, world number 14. Daniel Blumen, world number 19 at the moment. Of course, they are the season leaders at the moment, 62 points on their score sheet, and the only team to have finished in the top 4 times with 2 wins as well.
17 points ahead of the Eye Candy on 45 points, 18 points ahead of Helios on the top 3. So they're definitely on schedule here on the season, and I think they're really hungry and they want to go further and to be for a 5th time on the top 4 here in Traverse City. And then when you've got a man as Darragh Kenny to open up, you've got a serious rider there with top 7 in Bridgehampton, top 15 in Ottawa, and a top 3 in the other shows here in Traverse City. This wonderful Eddie Blue.
Yeah, not necessarily his most experienced ride, but certainly one that's becoming more and more consistent for him, and he's got some great results with this horse already. The Trailblazers were 2nd here at this very same leg in 2022.
And also for them, when you have that experience now on the 4 first legs, that you know how to stay into the top 4, then you can come with more trust in the other shows. You can come a bit more relaxed in the arena, even if you got all the experience. Then a bit too close there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little close. Just comes down with the lightest touch, the Cabana Coast upright. I think we may see that fall again for another rider later down the line. It certainly is somewhere that you need to be very, very careful. It's a good time of 70.46, but it's just the 1 pole down for Darragh Kenny and Eddie Blue.
It was definitely not a slow round. And yeah, that delicate vertical of Cabana Coast going down brings 4 faults to the team of the Trailblazers.
Connor Swale will be continuing the Irish theme for the Trelawney Trailblazers. He's world ranked number 14. And he's piloting Castorano in today's competition. This is the horse that he rode here in our first visit to Traverse City. That was, of course, for leg 2 of the season. And he was the rider to clinch the gold medal, the winner of that gold medal matchup in round 3. So it's a combination. They've done it before, and they may well be able to do it again. Also, something that's extremely impressive about Connor, he has been jumping clear in every round that he has jumped so far in 2023 for the team. 100% clear round rate.
Also really good results on the Grand Prix with 4th place in Toronto, top 11 in Ottawa. So I don't know what team decided to do now after the 4 faults of Connor Swale, if they decided to go a bit faster and to go for a more risky clear round.
Yeah, he's certainly got the pace up. I think Castorano is naturally quite quick, but they know what they need to do. I mean, interestingly, you know, we had a team finish on a totally clean sheet in Ottawa in round 1, Team Helios, but they ended up being 3rd because, you know, it's all about the fresh scorecard, if you like, and a new story for each round. But Connor Swale going very well here as he heads down to the final line.
Really good distance there. Comes really nice on the center, on the middle, with really balanced horse. and that's a good clear round. 70 seconds, 67, nearly the same time as Dara Kenny. Same pace, same rhythm.
Brilliant round for Conasuelo and Castorano. Nothing to add at all. So it's still just the 4 for the Trelawney Trailblazers. Now we see that the time could make a difference. Very quick time of Conasuelo. Dara Kenny even quicker. They're just over 70 seconds. So Daniel Blumen needs to keep on a clean sheet, but he also needs to be quite quick.
Time allowed is on 79 seconds, and when you see the time difference on the 141 seconds against 225, so there's a bit more than 85 seconds. So Daniel is actually getting a freeway to take it easy, nice and relaxed. He just needs to finish under the 79 seconds and clear, of course.
Absolutely, needs to finish inside the time. I imagine he may well go for it a little bit, just to be sure that the teams coming after him don't then, takes a stride out there, don't then have a faster 4-faulting score. But Gemma W, what a fantastic, fantastic horse for him.
He's on the winning strike. He just won the Grand Prix of Bridgehampton, also won the Nations Cup in Prague, who qualified Israel for the Olympic Games. So he's on it, he's in the right winning mood and ready to deliver clear rounds. When I saw the course, I thought there would be more faults on the combination that we just saw there, 8A, 8B with delicate vertical ingate, and actually not on the last combination with the Oxford. I would think that was maybe the easy part, but actually I was totally wrong on my idea.
Well, I think, you know, it's actually quite a long course. There's a lot of twisting, turning here, and you know that might be coming into play in that last combination as well. But that's a big gallop toward the last for Daniel Blumen, and that, look at the time. My goodness me, that is quick. 67.05 for Daniel Blumen. That's super, super quick. That's the fastest round we've had so far. It's faster even than Ken Farrington. He is not messing around. He's not taking any chances here for the Trailblazers, so they do lead the way. Big smiles on the face of Conasuelo there as he and Daniel Blumen exit the ring, and they take the lead by a long way in terms of time from Team Eye Candy.
On this in a time of 208 seconds, so they're 17 seconds faster than Eye Candy. So whatever happens, they will be on top of the cut line, I think, because I think we'll have other teams getting a score of 8 in the next 5 teams.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Of course, we could still have a team finishing on a clean sheet. I'm sure that's something that many of the teams would have an eye on. That's what they would very much like to do in this beautiful ring. Just a little bit of a gentle breeze, as you can see from the flags flying there. And perfect conditions, certainly perfect conditions for show jumping. Not too warm, but just some lovely sunshine here in the afternoon in Michigan. Really lovely conditions. The Roadrunners are next to take to the stage. McLean Ward, Adrian Sternlicht and Daniel Coyle. Daniel Coyle, of course, won the Cabana Coast Grand Prix qualifier last night. That was a fantastic performance, totally unbeatable in the jump-off with Ivory TCS. But McLean Ward made his mark in his first appearance for the team in Ottawa, jumped double clear to help them win.
You can always count on the world number 6, McLean Ward. Already also second place in Socrates, victory in Upperville, top 6 in Devon with this first lady, just playing of Don Diarado. They send out directly the man with the most experienced rider in the arena to start up for the team.
And sometimes in the team competition, that first out position can almost be the one of most pressure, because you're setting the tone for the team. You know that whatever you do is going to be part of the team score. I mean, all of the riders know that, but you know that if you have a few fences down, it's game over. You've seen a few teams go now, and you know that you've really got to try to keep it clear, because they're low faulting scores so far.
It's directly giving the way to the teammates about what's happening in the arena. And as we can see, the Roadrunners, they want to be a third time now in the top 4.
So the Roadrunners sit in 6th place in the season standings. 34 points is their score, but they're tied with the Spico Spies, and only 2 points separates those ranked from 4th down to 7th.
I don't know if we can see maybe on the slow motion again the turn on the Cabana Coast vertical, but that was just amazing ride again of McLean Ward, holding on control for the last fence, and yeah, great finish.
Great finish for McLean Ward. Certainly had some luck on his side there as well. That was a big rattle at 12A, but 68.52, great time as well. Perfect time, and keeps the clean sheet, keeps the Roadrunners on a 0 score.
The good thing with the ride of McLean Ward is that it's a fast ride, but we didn't saw him chasing to get a fast time. It was one pace from the first fence to the last fence, one rhythm, and everything was clearly well organized, well set up, and everything coming up smoothly into the arena.
Adrian Sternlicht then comes in next. This is only the 2nd time that she's jumped on the team this season. She jumped clear here at Traverse City back in August, and that was with this very same horse, Auriga. Team sadly finished 8th here last time out. Another of their teammates, Zoom Gallagher, was unfortunately eliminated, and without 3 counting scores, they finished in 8th place. But 1 clear under her belt already. I'm sure she'd love another.
Yeah, Adrian is, of course, also a rider with a lot of experience with this Auriga van het Zuid-Pajottenland, 9-year-old Belgian bred. Finished in the top 5 in Ottawa on the Grand Prix. So now with the fast ride of McLean, she can slow down a little bit and take care of each fence. Nice distance there. Nice 4 strides. Really well organized. Focused on the combination now. Oh, helping out with the voice. Really good example of communication between horse and rider.
And you can see in some of the approaches to these fences, she trusts this horse so well. You know, she's taking a couple of strides out, she's seeing a couple of long ones, but just goes to show how well she knows the horse.
Everything is running smooth. A little touch there. And the last fence.
Nicely
really good.
down. Ooh, a fraction over the time allowed.
79 seconds 35, yeah.
Yeah, just a fraction over. That's the first time penalty we've had, so it's going to be 1 for Adrian Sternlicht. That's a real shame because it was actually a really lovely round. She's just picked up the 1, and so that could make all the difference. We now
Maybe
have
feeling just a little too relaxed actually in the arena, but okay, not bad. Now if Daniel Cole finish up clear, they make the good results to stay on the on top of the cut line.
Yeah, Daniel Coyle, let's hope he can keep the fences up. Ivory TCS, very much a horse on form with that fantastic win in the Cabana Coast qualifier yesterday. It was just absolutely outstanding. You know, he kept the pace up all the way around, and he was saying when he was speaking about his round after that competition that he can take the strides out with this horse, but actually sometimes she is just as quick, just keeping the pace up. She's just so fast across the ground.
Daniel Cole was the number 13 on the Longines rankings, top 7 in Ottawa. Has also some nice results in Toronto, Dublin, and next up Grand Prix, Great Britain. Move up there.
Just slips over the fence.
More on the outside for a turn and then vertical there. Going forward.
It's quick. It's very quick. Oh, great start. Oh, what a performance. Daniel Coyle puts the Roadrunners into the lead. He puts them at the top of the tree. 3 clear jumping rounds, just 1 time penalty across those 3 riders. Roadrunners are on fire at the moment.
No, really good ride, really good team tactic there. The pressure on McLean to open up. They make it nice and easy for Adrian Stenlicht, and Daniel Cole comes in the arena and finish up the work for them.
Gets the job done. But now we turn to the Spico Spies, and at this point we can see teams drop below the cut line. Their lineup is Shane Sweetenham, world number 10, Derek Herrens, who makes his debut for the Spico Spies, and Margie Goldstein-Engel, absolute icon of the sport, who has a 100% clear round rate for the team already in 2023. Shane Sweetenham is the first in with Sejox Z. This is the first time he's ridden this horse for the team, but again, this is a horse that's really quite on form, and he's been jumping very well for Shane.
Spico's farm, Spico Spies, who finished on the top 4 on the show in Toronto. Only one top 4 on the season, so definitely they have also some work and some work ahead here on this course. Fourth place in Traverse City, top 3 in Ottawa for Shane, and of course, without forgetting that Shane left actually from Ottawa straight away to Milan to go to the European Championships, where he brought back silver with the Irish team.
Yes, a lot of these riders hopping from one side of the world to the other to compete in the very top level of the sport. Not necessarily the fastest round we've had here, but he's still keeping up a good rhythm. You know, perhaps a slightly less experienced horse for him.
But that's Oscar of Cominfo is definitely a really good horse. 9-year-old. He's not putting too much pressure. He's still giving experience to his horse, even if it's on a high-level competition. He's not forcing something out. Feel lucky there.
Yeah, lucky, and stride out pushes to the last with Sejox Z, but Shane Sweetenham. It's another clear round. That's our 8th clear round of the competition already. Jumping well, this course designed by Alan Wade, but it's jumping very well, and the time is going to be extremely influential, I think, in this competition. We turn now to a man who's making his debut for the Spico Spies, Derek Herrens with Licino. Spico Spies, remember, sit in 6th place in the season standings, 3 5th places and a 4th on their record so far this season.
Standing on 34 points, just like the Roadrunners. The Roadrunners in the lead here so far, so there's also a battle there between the equal 6th placing on the standings. Horse by Limbus and Cassini. Really scopy horse, as you can see.
Darren, not necessarily with a foot to the floor here. Looks like he's aiming for the clears.
We can see that Derek has some experience, but doesn't want to take the risks and wants to bring up the clear round back for the team. That's the most important. Once you're first out, once you make your debut, you always want to be strong and, to say, like, guys, after the ride, like, you can count on me and I can join you for another show or take another try.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's about proving the performance for the team, and certainly Dara is doing that here today. But I think as well, they've had the Spico Spies have had the opportunity to watch a few teams go. They know what the scores are. They know what could get them into the lead, and a clean sheet would do just that. Derek Herrens adds nothing, and a time of 75.84. Nothing to add still for the Spico Spies. Could they finish in the top 4 for the first time this season? I'm sure that is their aim, but nothing to add, and 146.15 is the time across the 2 riders they've had so far, across Shane Sweetenham and Derek Herrens, as we now turn to this This lady, who's such an icon of the sport, is Margie Engel with Jack of Hearts. She's jumped this horse. This will be her third appearance on the team this year with this horse, and she's jumped 3 clear rounds so far. So 100% strike rate for her in terms of the clears. Those coming here in Traverse City, and in Toronto she jumped a double clear.
If we compare the road runners to the Spicos farm, they've got a bit like the same tactique of how to get in the arena. They send out their most experienced rider as number 1. For the road runners, we had McLean Watt, who's number 6 on the world rankings, and for the Spicos farm, we had the world number 10. Then they send out the rider who was a bit less experienced, and that was for them Adrian Stenlicht, who was the world number 180, followed by Derakens, who was a bit further on the top 300, and then we get Daniel Coyle to close up the job, and now we count up on Margie Goldstein-Engel, who will be not on the 100% clear round rate anymore.
No, she will not. 1 down for Margie now, and that is tough. You know, 1 fence down. They're on a total of 4 now as a team. Team KPF will still be holding their breaths. Margie needs to keep clear for the rest of this course now, if they'd stay above the cut line. Oh, pole down.
This is giving some hope to KPF now.
Yeah, gonna go down to time here. So 8 for Margie. That's uncharacteristic with this horse in a time of 74.70. 220.85. Yeah, slower. Ah, what a pity. Spico Spies will not be able to finish in the top 4 once again. They're already in 5th with 3 teams left to go. 220.85. It's the second slowest time that we have. What a pity. It's all over for Spico Spies already.
That's what's making this competition so interesting, that everything can change even with the last rider, because all results are counting. There's no drop score, and when you see those 2 first brilliant rounds, actually at the end you're a bit like disappointed about the ride of Margie Goldstein-Engel. Unlucky there with the 8 foes.
Super tough for her teammates, but of course she has helped them to some good results in the past. I'm sure she'll be back another day. Ali Ramsey is into the ring now for the Show plus Northern Lights. This is an interesting team. They've been going so much better this season than they did in 2022. They sit in 4th place in the overall season standings. 36 points on their score sheet. 2 third place finishes and 2 6th place finishes so far. And last year here they finished 5th.
The Northern Plus at the start. They're on the top 4 so far on the overall standings, with a total of 36 points. 1 point ahead of the Crusaders. And Ali Ramsey is also getting good results, top 13 in Vancouver, also on the prizes in Toronto.
Ali had a brilliant performance in the Cabana Coast qualifier yesterday as well. That was with Bonita Van Het Kaisershof. She jumped a great clear, finished in the top 10 in that competition. Chooses Conrado for the team class. She's got a couple of really established horses now in her string for the top level, and she's certainly been a great addition to the Show plus Northern Lights. She's at a 60% clear round rate so far for this year for the team. 1 fence to go, and her time's pretty good as well.
Also
well,
definitely a good ride there.
There we have it then, 71.62 on the clock for Ali Ramsey, but crucially, nothing to add. She gets the job done. We have clear rounds for at least 1 per team for every team that we have had so far. And other than Team KPF, each team has had 2 clear rounds so far, which is quite incredible, really. Vanessa Mannix, though, comes in next. Leha is the ride here today. Vanessa jumped in Vancouver and in Toronto so far for the team. Just 1 pole down in Vancouver, and then jumped double clear in Toronto. Both of those performances were with Carmela Z. Leha is the ride here today.
offspring of Verdi. Belgian Wamblet had also a top 3 in Spruce Meadows in the 2-star Grand Prix for the world number 145. For, as we can say, the Canadian team here into the Major League. Came a little bit without rhythm there, a bit slow. Couldn't kick off on the ground enough for the combination. Horse was a bit shy there. Really good jump there on the Oxer.
Jumping well last year was really agonizing for the Northern Lights. They finished on just 4 faults, but they were first to go in the order, so didn't have the opportunity to see that how quickly the other teams had gone, and so they were the slowest of the 4 faulters, so they finished below the cut line. Vanessa jumped clear there. Just had a teammate taking the one pole down. Another pole gone.
And this is going to cost a lot because she's not that fast. Finishing up on 75 seconds, 11 on 8 for the Northern Lights. That's not helping out the team there.
No, very much not what she would have wanted. Northern Lights then sit on a score of 8. And I'll just do a little quick bit of maths for you. We need to have Nicole Walker home clear and under 65 seconds.
Exactly.
That would be quite some task. Our fastest round so far is 67, just above 67, 67.05. That was Daniel Blumen's time. So Nicole Walker would need to be absolutely putting a foot to the floor. 65.25 is the time she'd need to beat in order
and that
to
means you need to take some risks also on the ride. So
yeah,
makes it a bit complicated.
Some serious risks.
Top 6 in Caledon, top 10 in Lexington. Also at the start of Ottawa and Toronto on the season here.
It's her 4th appearance for the team with this horse. She jumped double clear here last time out for the 2nd leg of the series. But just a steady clear won't be enough here today.
And in the meantime, that gives some hope to KPF to stay on top of the cut line and to stay on the boat, in the boat for the top 4.
Oh!
It's over and out.
Yeah, over for the Northern Lights as well. And as you say, that's what makes this team competition so exciting. You know instantly whether the team is in or out. We know now the Northern Lights are totally out of the game. The Spico Spies are out of the game. The Roadrunners are safe.
I think it
And
would
the
be nice
Trailblazers
actually
are.
to get a camera actually fixed on the team KPF. Every time somebody's knocking a fence down, they need to feel like some bits a bit released. Like, oof, we're going up, we keep on going. And yeah, they're gonna make it, I think. There's a chance.
There is a chance, but certainly the last 2 teams to go are not going to give up without a fight, especially not our last team. Nicole Walker then, it's a score of 4 for her and 71.56 on the clock. Sadly, it is all over for the Show Plus Northern Lights. They're in 6th place as it stands. Some disappointment there on Nicole Walker's face. But she hands over then to Team Helios. Last year's season champions, Vanessa Hood will head into the ring first for them. She'll be followed by Roberto Terran of Colombia, and then Ashley Bond, team manager, spearhead of Team Helios. She'll be the final rider to go. Helios need to have a score lower than 8, and ideally quicker than 225.83 if they are to push Eye Candy down. Vanessa Hood rides Cascal Retto. This is her 2nd appearance for the team with this horse. And she jumped a double clear in Ottawa.
Team Helios 3 times on the top 4 on the 3 last stages, 2 times runner-up, and the top 3 in Ottawa for the moment on 44 points, just 1 point away from Eye Candy. and a bit further away from the Trailblazer, having a big gap there. Largely in advance there on the standings.
So it's 4 already for Vanessa Hood and Cascal Reto. She's going to now put the pressure on to Roberto Turan and Ashley Bond.
Very nice and balanced on the combination there. Holds on for the distance for the vertical. Tight turn. Really good distance also there. Doesn't take a stride out. Keeps it everything on control. She knows she cannot afford her another 4 faults. Otherwise you're in the danger zone already. And staying on 4.
Score of 4 and a time of 74.22 for Vanessa Hood. Now we need 2 clears. Roberto Turan and Ashley Bond need to be clear, or one of them can have a pole, and they need to be very, very fast indeed, because Team KPF, of course, were so super quick as well. 2:11.98 their time. As you see from that graphic on the right-hand side of your screen, they're staying above the cut line for now. But for how long?
We go again on mathematics. If you take the 211 seconds of KPF divided by 3, makes something like 70 seconds and something. So when you start already with 74 seconds 22, you're putting actually pressure on the other riders, also just on the time actually.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Roberto Turan, though, is a man who is known for speed. BP Wakita is his ride. Roberto has jumped at 3 legs already. This is his 4th appearance for Team Helios. Jumped here in Traverse City, pole down in both rounds. Then jumped double clear in Toronto with DSP Callas, and then a clear, and then just 1 pole in one of his jump-off rounds in Ottawa. So pretty consistent, just generally having a clear or a pole down, but he does really need a clear here.
Finished also on the top 8 in Bridgehampton. And as we said, top 3 in Ottawa. Helping out his team really well.
Roberto Turan then down to the last line. Good over that final fence.
And a really good time.
Yeah, great time. Big cheers going up from the crowd. Nothing to add. It's 70.1 seconds for Roberto Turan, but crucially, nothing to add at all for him. Big pats for the horse. Roberto looking very pleased, as he should be, with that performance, as Ashley Bond will be tackling this course 3rd for Team Helios. She needs to keep all of the fences up, or she can have 1 down, but she will need to be
faster than 67 seconds,
yeah,
something, if she gets the poles down also.
67.66 would be the time she'd need to beat.
The world number 44 is in the arena. Definitely always a fast rider. Ashley Bond, who qualified the team of Israel for the Olympics in Prague. With this Donatello. Sharp turn there. Nice 4 strides. You can hear the pace, you can hear the horse cantering on the ground there. With a lot of rhythm, a lot of energy. On the control there.
She is so quick here already. She's making some great turns back.
Takes a stride out there. And then she needs to focus on the last line.
Last line, but she's at 60 seconds. She is going so quick here.
Oh!
And the pace has taken the fence down. She was so fast around the turn, just couldn't keep the pole up. So it's 71.02 for Ashley Bond. It's a score of 8 for Helios. And 2:15.34, they're below the cut line. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness me! Team KPF.
4 seconds too much. 4
Yeah.
seconds too much.
KPF still stay above the cut line. Ashley Bond can hardly believe it. She knew she was quick. But unfortunately, Vanessa Hood just took a little bit too long, and it's all about all three performances. So Ashley Bond absolutely incredulous there. It's all over for Helios. 5th is their position at the moment. They certainly can't be better than that.
So now it's going to be a make your bet situation. Will KPF stay on top of the cut line with those 8 votes under 11.98, or will it be for the Crusaders with this amazing rider that we think will be following a bit later on between the different rounds? We've got a nice subject about Alessandra Volpi and Gracio Dupachy.
Yes, Alessandra Volpi, first rider in for the Crusaders with Gracio Dupachis. She makes her second appearance for the team here, jump clear in Ottawa. Crusaders sit in 5th place in the season standings with 35 points. It's pretty tight there. They're just 1 point below the Northern Lights, and they're 1 point ahead of the Roadrunners and the Spico Spies. Very tightly packed in the middle of the field in the season standings. Alessandra had that lovely clear in our previous leg in Ottawa, and last year at this leg, the Crusaders finished 3rd.
2 times on the top 4 on the 2 first legs. A 2nd and a 4th place at the start of the season. And they get a young talent as number 1 in the arena, Alessandra Volpi, who's climbing up on the world rankings. She's now on world number 210. She's nearly inside the top 200. Getting good results in Ottawa, top 9. Also went into Europe with top 5 in the Fastabo Grand Prix, but there we have a rail going down on the Cabana Coast vertical.
1 down already for the Crusaders, gives them the 4. Tight, it's very tight in this competition. We don't have any huge scores. Ooh, and another pole for Alessandra Volpi.
And then look at the time. This is making really difficult task for the other riders to come up in for the Crusaders with 78 seconds. Actually, she's already offering the top 4 to Team KPF.
Yeah, she really is. It was not fast in the slightest. 78 seconds for Alessandra Volpi and 2 down. Gives a total of 8 already for the Crusaders, as Grant Sager is the next out of the starting gate. Takes a pause. Yogi FLP is the ride. 1 down. Oh, sorry.
If we take the time of KPF on 211 seconds, that means we have 133 seconds left. So yeah, that makes like 66, 67 seconds for the next 2 riders. And need to be clear, of course.
Absolutely, clear is key here. Grant Sager with Yogi FLP. They had a pole down in each round in their first trip here to Traverse City back in August.
And actually so far the 4 first teams to start up, going up to round number 2. Grant Seeger, who finished on the top 2 in Millspring. Good results in Ottawa and also in Toronto. If he gets 1 more down, it's over and out, whatever happens for the Crusaders. But they don't give up.
No, they won't go down without a fight, but it is looking extremely difficult now for the Crusaders. They're already on the 8. Grant Sager would need to do something pretty...
Needs to be under 68, 67 seconds. Not going to make it.
It's not going to happen, unfortunately. No. He is clear, so, you know, I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that round with Yogi FLP. A better round than he had to his first trip to Traverse City for the team. Keeps a clean sheet for him, but Charlotte Jacobs is still to come. She's had a great set of results with Rinkula Milshorn for the Crusaders so far this season. She's actually jumped clear 100% of the time with this horse. Sadly, she had a very tricky performance in Ottawa. That, though, was with Andrade 3K, but this horse, Rincula Milchon, has been really consistent for her for the team so far. But the key thing is she would need to be lightning quick, would not even cover it. Yeah.
So yeah, at the end it's a ride to be clear and to give a nice ride to Rincula Milchon, and to confirm also the good results she had on the previous weeks, including a top 7 in Toronto and a top 8 in Vancouver for Charlotte. So at the end, the good news of the day is KPF finally into the top 4.
Yes, exactly. Team KPF will have their best result yet of the season. It is a shame, though, for the likes of Helios and the Northern Lights and the Spico Spies. You know, Helios and the Northern Lights, they really needed more points here to climb the ranks in the season standings. And I think we're going to see a really big shake-up in the situation, in the season overall, after this leg.
If we focus now already on round number 2, we can see the 2 fastest teams are the Trailblazers and KPF. So they will definitely have a nice team tactic there for to choose their 2 riders for round number 2.
All about tactics for rounds 2 and 3 to decide who is going to get you into the gold medal jump-off, because that's the goal. Charlotte Jacobs, though, going really well. She's continuing this fantastic run of form in the team class with this horse.
And she gave everything into that ride. 67.95, really definitely a really good ride. She's been fighting to the last moment.
It's actually a fantastic time. You know, it's one of our fastest, 67.95. We haven't had anyone go sub 67 seconds. Charlotte Jacobs really did everything that she could. But the Crusaders will be in 6th place, Helios in 5th, Spico Spies 7th, and the Chauffeurs Northern Lights in 8th. That is a shock for the Northern Lights. But 4 teams will go through to the next round. It's the Roadrunners, the Trelawney Trailblazers, Team Eye Candy, and Team KPF. What a course set by Alan Wade in this competition. Quite the challenge, and certainly very clever building in terms of making it absolutely crucial on the time.
He made it nice and delicate. Big effort on the last line on the combination. And at the end, not too much difference as we saw on the other stages. So yeah, keeps the nerves up here. Everybody was...
yeah, very much so. Keeps the nerves up, and there's some shocks, there's some surprises in this competition, but 4 teams will go through to the next round, while Stephen Wild is standing by to take us through that.
Thank you very much. Yes, getting set for round 2. How did round 1 play out? Well, it was close. Certainly close to the Crusaders down at the tail end. That final run for them, brilliant run by Charlotte Jacobs, but just the time was putting them out of being in the final 4. So interestingly, it's the first 4 teams that went today are the 4 teams that will go through. The teams that went after that, 6th, 7th and 8th down there, and well, 5th through to 8th will not go through. So we lose the teams for the Spico Spies, the Show Plus Northern Lights, Helios and Crusaders. I'm afraid it's good night to them. They can go and relax. They can put their feet up and watch the others battle it out for today's competition. They'll go in reverse order of the 4 teams that go through. The Roadrunners, the previous winners at our last stage in Ottawa, just that one time fault there. And remember, in the next round, they go back to 0 because it's then based on time. So that time fault now doesn't matter. The key was getting in position to qualify for round 2. They're qualified. They will go last. Trelawney Trailblazers, the championship leaders, are in there once again. They're picking up big points again here in Traverse City. They've had 2 wins already this season, and they will go second from last. Kicking us off into that second round will be Team KPF. With that score they had of 8, they just hung on because of the time. Time separated 3 of those teams on 8, and they just about stayed into that top 4. Team Eye Candy, they've been keen for points again. They've been second twice this season. They've got another shot here as well. Now the thing is, into this next round, you find that 2 riders for each of those teams go into the second round. The third rider remains for the last. So the team strategy is now going to come into play. But the 4 teams through, the Roadrunners, Trailblazers, Trailblazers, Eye Candy and Team KPF. That is how it works. And we also caught up with members of those teams that have passed through to round 2. Take a look at this.
Natalie, it was an unfortunate first fence, but a great round after that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was a bit unlucky. I maybe just needed to start with a bit more, but she jumped amazing, and hopefully we can make it in the second round.
Can you tell me a little bit about the course Alan's set there?
Yeah, I think it's a good course. It's very fair. I think there will be quite a few clears, so we have to wait and see, but I think it was really nice to ride, and I think he did a great job today.
Darry, just quick thoughts on the course there and how it went for you.
Yeah, it's a good course. I think Alan did a super job building it. It's a nice course to ride. I was a little too deep to one vertical and knocked it down, but I think it's going to be a good class.
Amy, congratulations. What a lovely round.
Oh, thank you very much. My teammates were really great, and I hope that what we've done is enough to get into the second round, because I really want to do this for Erica today.
Is it a tough course out there? Alan builds big.
It is a very tough course, and it feels like a long course when you're out there. It just keeps going and going and asking questions, and the turns are a bit awkward. So, yeah, it's tough enough, for sure.
If it goes well today, does the makeup stay?
I think it probably will have to, and we'll have to get Paul involved, too.
McLean, nice round out there. How's Alan built that course?
Yeah, it's a strong 150, good course, allows for some options, and I was very happy with First Lady's performance.
And how's the team feeling in general?
Team feels good. Adrian just logged a nice clear round. She's a young horse, so we knew she was going to go all out. Hopefully our anchor here, Daniel Coyle, delivers a good, neat, quick round, and we're in for the second round.
Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel, well done. Talk to me about the course out there.
It's a good course. You know, Alan again set up a very, very good course. I had the chance to go last, so I got to watch my other teammates, Dara and Connor. Dara had a little bit of a chip fault, and Connor then laid out a very nice clear round. And honestly, game I was feeling great. I wasn't sure exactly what my strategy should be at that point. You know, in case I drop one, I didn't want to be too slow. That maybe being a slow 8 falter would leave us out. So I sort of put a nice scanner from the beginning. I just rolled with her, and she was amazing. So thrilled with her round, and hopefully we'll make it to the second.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Premier Equestrian is the leading provider of arena footing products in North America, featuring a full line of footing products to fit any budget. From home arenas to prestigious events, like Major League show jumping, Premier Equestrian is the company to rely on. Horse owners, trainers, and facility managers know the importance of good footing. It supports the safety and conditioning of their equine athletes. Premier Equestrian understands this too. Call us at 800-611-6109 or look us up at premierequestrian.com.
I'm really enjoying it. I started 2 years ago when the league started. Unfortunately, last year I wasn't in the States, but I came back and I wanted to be on a team because it's a great opportunity to jump a bunch of 5 stars and also jump on a team that's not a Nations Cup. It's definitely an added pressure to jump on a team. It's one that I do love, but it can be a lot mentally, I think. And especially jumping Nations Cups, you learn kind of, I think these teams are much nicer because the pressure is slightly lower than it is on a Nations Cup, and so it's great practice for those. And, you know, it's a side of the mental game that you kind of have to master if you want to jump in championships at the top level, and so this provides an opportunity to practice that. I have my basically third string horse. His name is Grasuda Pashi, and I was kind of jumping him 145 earlier this year, and I wanted to step him into a 5-star Grand Prix that, you know, wasn't one of the biggest in the world, and so he actually jumped an auto and he jumped a clear round. It was kind of the perfect way to intro him to that level. He also jumped the team there, and he'll also be jumping the team here. I definitely appreciate jumping on the major league circuit, and it gives me the opportunities, especially being on a team, to then kind of automatically be in the Grand Prix. You don't have to worry so much about qualification, and it's a lot of big shows, a lot of 5-star shows all in a row. Provides a great opportunity for me to get more experience in the ring and more confidence, and bring horses both for the 5-star and the 2-star, and really just like keep getting in the ring. I think as a younger rider, the thing you can hope for is just rounds and rounds in the ring. So that I think is a highlight of this league. I love it. I think being close to home is nice. You don't have to fly to Europe all the time, and all my friends are here, and it's fun to jump on a team with your friends and come to these shows that you know, and yeah, I mean, I have a great time.
Well, we're nearly underway with round 2. Of course, this round that will be all about speed in this Major League Show Jumping team competition for leg 5 here in Traverse City. It's been quite the competition already. Some big shocks. Team Helios out of the running. The Northern Lights out of the running. Spico, Spies out of the running. And those top 4 teams will come forward to tackle this course. They'll set off over a new fence, fence 14. That's a big oxer down at the far end of the course, before they then head to fences 1, 2, 3 and 4AB from round 1. So fence 1, the Southern Archers upright, down to the Premier Equestrian Oxer at fence 2. Major League Show Jumping upright at 3, up to height at 1.50 m. And then that 9-stride run down to 4A and B, the Major League Show Jumping double with 1 stride in between. Another new fence then as they turn and gallop through the middle of the arena. In between the fences to fence 15, it's another upright. So big gallop needs some careful jumping up there. Then we turn to the Eagles double. It's fence 12A. The B element has been taken out to give them a long gallop to the finish, to the Lighthouse fence at fence 13. So the same final fence once again.
Well, that's what the course looks like upcoming for round 2. As Alan Wade said, it's table C, and this is how this works. We have 2 riders from each of the teams that are through. So we have 4 teams through, 2 riders from each of the teams, and they go round this course. So table C, so 3 seconds added if they have a fence down. Then their 2 times are combined. This is all about speed now. Forget the scores for round 1. That was about your qualifying position for this round. Now it's all about speed, because those 2 times combined. And in round 2, there's a lot of strategy as well, because you need to be in the top 2 teams if in round 3 you are going to go for the gold and silver position. If you in this round finish 3rd or 4th, the best you can finish going into round 3 is in 3rd place in the bronze medal position. So it is key for strategy that you don't hold back, that you go for it here. Now, the teams themselves, they have 2 riders for the teams. We'll start off with Team KPF with Kent Farrington and Natalie Dean. Amy Miller and Paul O'Shea will go for Team Eye Candy. Trelawney Trailblazers will see Connor Swale and Daniel Blumen. And finally, it is going to be for the Roadrunners with McLean Ward and Adrian Sterling. So those are the riders going into round 2. They are going to carry the weight of the team competition, and they hand it over into the 3rd and final round, their singular remaining rider to fight out for whichever medal position that are going to go to in the end. And so we're all set for round 2. It is our teams competing. The Roadrunners leading the championship. Trelawney Trailblazers will go in there too. Eye Candy, currently 2nd in the championship, are in there, as our Team KPF, looking to get off the bottom of the table. Our top 4 teams. Here we go, round 2.
Yes, time for round 2 now. Interestingly, the 4 teams who come forward into the second round were the first 4 teams into the ring for round 1, and that's quite unusual, because usually we would consider that the later you go in the order, the more beneficial, because you've had more chance to watch the other teams go. But these were the first 4 in. Philippe, it's Team KPF coming into the ring first. They were first in round 1. Natalie Dean, Kent Farrington, Alison Robitaille. Now they field Natalie Dean, and followed by Kent Farrington for round 2.
And also to add that they will start actually in the same order than the first round. So KPF, Eye Candy, Trailblazers and Roadrunners. And the 3 first teams decided to send out their 2 last riders of round 1. And only the Roadrunners will be sending out McLean Ward and Adrian Stanlicht and Daniel Cole, maybe for the last round, of course.
Yes, it's all about the strategy of picking the rider that you feel will be best for these 2 rounds. So the 2 riders in round 2 are tasked with getting their team above the cut line once again. They need to get into the top 2. Fence down adds them 3 seconds. Natalie Dean is off and running.
So really good first jump on that first fence. Speeding up to fence number 2. Sharp turn to vertical number 3. I think she made 8 strides there, if I'm quite correct, to the combination. Fence number 15, the new fence.
Great shot on the angle.
Inside on the good distance on 12A. And following up to the last fence. Oh, that's a great ride.
Oh. Well, Natalie Dean, 40.29 and nothing to add. No fences down for her. That's the way to do it. That's the way to lay down the challenge for the teams to come. Couldn't have gone better for her. Kent Farrington will follow, and this man needs no introduction. He is known for speed. Natalie Dean, that was just sensational. Team KPF, they have got an eye on a top placing here. You can just feel that they really, really want to be climbing the ranks. They're in last place in the season standings. They've never finished higher than 6th this year so far. They just had 1 win in 2022, and they're hungry for another. World number 8, Kent Farrington, is next up with this really experienced horse.
Credence, the Spring of Lords. So after the world number 70, they send out the world number 8 into the arena. And I'm sure Kent wants to be clear. He wants to take his 4 faults, actually, to correct his 4 faults from round 1 away. With a blazing fast round here into the first jump off.
And remember, we discount the scores from round 1. It's a totally clean sheet here.
Yeah.
Oof.
Sharp little rub there. Makes on 9. Straight away going in the inside. Keeps on pushing forward. Taking the first distance out of the turn. That's really nice.
American Gold Cup fence there on the angle. But he can gallop Credence.
Risky there. And going up to the last fence, and look at the time.
Oh, it's a pole down. Kent Farrington's had a pole. He's going to add the 3. There we see it updated on your score. So with those 3 seconds, he's now on 43.34. That gives a total score for the team of 83.63. My goodness me. Well, Alan Wade was saying earlier on that he set this course so that if you do have a pole down, you can potentially make up the time around the course, but not at the final fence. That's tough. That's super tough. Team Eye Candy will come in next. Amy Miller saying there how important this is for the team. They're desperate for another good result. They've had 2 podium finishes already this season. They'd love a 3rd. Amy Miller comes in first with Cristiano. She won the gold medal jump off here in 2022, this very same competition. And she's first to go now in round 2.
From my opinion, I think even KPF delivered really 2 blazing fast rounds. I don't know if it's like possible to go as fast as them, even with those 3 seconds added, actually. And that's what I have in mind. And we can see Amy going a bit more on the outside, a little bit more down on the pace.
Yeah, she's using Cristiano's stride to try to make up some ground here. She's still taking some inside lines. You can see she's really driving there.
Landing on 24 seconds after the combination.
That was great over that Oxer, though. She the Gold Cup upright. Oh, Amy!
3 seconds added. And just to look at the time, with the 3 seconds included, 45 seconds 11. So she was landing on 42.11. So she was still 2 seconds away from them.
Yeah, yeah. She wasn't quite as quick, but 45.11 for Amy Miller. And yeah, pole down is added to her score. We've got 1 rider to come in round 2 for Team Eye Candy. It's Paul O'Shea with Squirt Gun clearing round 1. But in order to go ahead of Team KPF, Paul needs to be faster than 38.52. That's a very, very big ask. Would be quite a huge, huge achievement if Paul was able to do that. But, of course,
everything is possible.
Anything is possible. And what they're looking to do is stay above the cut line again. So they could go into second place. Roadrunners and Trailblazers could be slower. Let's see. It's still all to play for.
Actually, it's about betting and guessing into this competition. And that's what keeps it interesting all the way long till the last moment. You're focused into the competition, and I think it's really nice and easy to follow up, and it makes our sport interesting for all the viewers, actually.
Well, Paul is off to a quick start. Don't know that he's on the pace of Kent Farrington, but I think he's looking to try to keep clear. Big jump there from Squirt Gun. Fence.
8 strides to the combination, landing on 23 seconds up there. Takes the first distance on the vertical. Really nice ride there on the inside.
This is tight. This is a tight line.
Ah, fantastic. Great riding of Polo Shin, taking the last risk to the last fence, and boom! Yes! So.
Oh my goodness me, he's got there. That was just so incredible to see. It's clear for Paul. You can see how over the moon he is with that performance. Oh my goodness me, the gallop to the last. My heart was in my mouth watching that.
That's what's giving also the sport a good, like, till the last moment we see some great sport here.
Oh, Paul, what a round. What a round. Total score for Eye Candy is 87.05, so it is incredible to think that they're more than 3 seconds off the pace of Team KPF. Let's see what these guys can do. The Trelawney Trailblazers, Connor Swale and Daniel Blumen to come forward for them for this second round.
The absolute leaders on 62 points. So for the moment they need to stay on top of the 87 seconds 05 to stay on the battle for gold. And why not give a try on the 83 seconds 63
if they're to beat
Team KPF.
Yeah, if they're to beat Team Eye Candy, they need to be faster than 43 seconds. And if they're to beat Team KPF, they need an average time across the two riders faster than 41.82.
Exactly.
That's quick. But Connor Swale, he has won the gold medal jump off here in Traverse City back in August.
And that's what you expect from the world number 14. You know, when you have the best riders at your show, they will be also delivering actually a great show into the arena.
Connor, you can see from the hoof prints, the marks in the sand there, you can see he's taking the inside lines.
Get a look there, and he's landing on 24 seconds out of the combination. Again, taking the first shot there on the vertical. Sharp inside.
Great turn. Oh, is he quick enough? Is he quick enough?
And 8 strides to the last fence. 43.17.
Yeah, that's it. It's a really good time. It's really, really good indeed, but is it quick enough? I don't know that it's good enough to knock KPF off the top spot, but it might be good enough to knock Eye Candy down below the cut line.
So, from what I said actually, is that KPF delivered really a great effort as team number 1 into this round by delivering 2 clear rounds around the 40 seconds, and we just had to add the 3 seconds on the rail of Kent Farrington. They're putting the pressure on the other teams.
Well, here comes Daniel Blumen, Gemma W. This is the second appearance for the team, double clear in Toronto. And again, some task ahead of him here. He needs to be faster than 43.88 in order to knock Eye Candy down below the cut line here. That's what he's looking to do. He needs to be faster still. He needs to be below 40.5 seconds if he's going to go ahead, take them ahead of Team KPF.
the world number 19 there on the first jump off.
Gemma W is a big striding horse, totally different proposition to the likes
Landing on 22 seconds up there, halfway the jump off, halfway the course. A bit slower there. Need to add one stride on the vertical. On the inside. Good turn, and now you need to give everything for the last fence.
He's coming down, he's
58.
looking good.
Look at this,
good.
40 seconds, 5-0.
Oh, he's done it, he has done it. Daniel Blumen knew what he had to do, 40.5 seconds. So 83.67, ooh, 400ths of a second behind Team KPF. Oh my goodness me, this competition could not be any closer. Trelawney Trailblazers slot into second place. Team Eye Candy drop below the cut line. They're in third place as it stands. Right now we have a battle between Team KPF and the Trailblazers, but the Roadrunners are not going to give up that easily. McLean Ward and Adrian Sternlicht will be the riders trying to get them into the gold medal jump off. McLean Ward, he looks like a man who knows this is a stiff task, and we've been saying that throughout this competition, but as the performances have just been getting better and better and better, the challenges keep getting bigger and bigger for these riders. McLean Ward with First Lady then.
So far Natalie Dean still the fastest clear on 40 seconds 29. Daniel Blumen was not far away. He was already fast in round number 1. But now we go over to McLean Ward. And you need to be faster than 83.67 to battle for gold.
They need an average time across each of the two riders faster than 41.8.
Oh, that's on
that
the
was
inside,
lucky.
Pushing for the 8.
Super lucky.
Fantastic. There. Landing on 21.22. He's on schedule.
He is indeed on schedule.
Getting on the inside. Look at this, inside the footprints of everyone. What a risky ride there on the Oxer. And now the last fence. Look at the time. 38.39 and 39.62 under the 40 seconds.
McLean Ward then goes sub 40 seconds. Wow, wow, wow. That was seriously something. That was seriously something to watch. McLean Ward and First Lady, 39.62. The fastest time we've seen so far. Oh my goodness me. Adrian Sternlicht will be the next rider to go. She needs to be faster than 44.05 in order to get them above the cut line, in order to get them ahead of the Trelawney Trailblazers.
And if you saw the screen in front of you, the nice images of McLean Ward giving the last advice there to Adrian Sternlicht for a ride. The last information, we can clearly make the difference to get under the 83.67 or the 83.63.
Adrian Sternlicht then, Auriga. Just had one time penalty in round 1, but I have no doubt she will not be hanging around here. They've got Daniel Coyle for their medal jump off. Adrian, not quite on the pace of McLean Ward, but she's certainly not hanging around.
Auriga is one of the youngest horses here into this competition, 9 years of age. Come on, Adrian. Landing on 23.24 seconds. She needs to push it a bit more forward on the vertical. Oh, it goes wrong there. Missed out the distance. And going up to the last fence with the 3 seconds already included in the time there. And finishing on 46.66.
Oh, Adrian Sternlicht then, just that one pole down. Had she not had that pole down, they would have been ahead of the Trelawney Trailblazers. She's just cost them a first or second place. Now the Roadrunners are going for bronze. It all came down to that one pole from Adrian Sternlicht. She just didn't have the opportunity to make up any more time, and so the total score for them is 86.28. That's the time for the Roadrunners as we head into the third round here in Traverse City. What a performance from these riders. Roadrunners will go up against Team iCandy. Team KPF will go up against the Trailblazers. Incredibly, the last ranked team in the season standings will go up against the first ranked team in the season standings, and the Roadrunners and Team iCandy are a bit more tightly packed. Roadrunners sitting in 6th, iCandy in 2nd. 9 points separates them at the moment, so I'm not sure that we'll see a reverse of their placings, but we could certainly see a closing of the gap. That's how this competition is going to play out. Stephen Wild will take us through how it works.
Well, a really interesting second round there, and seeing Team KPF as the best performers from that round as well. Remember, they just got in there through round 1. They're now making full use of having got that position and put themselves in pole position going into the final stage. They'll go up against the current leaders in the championship, Trelawney Trailblazers, to be one rider for each of those teams. The teams in 3rd and 4th will battle for the bronze medal, and that is the Roadrunners and the iCandy team. So let's work in reverse order, and for the iCandy team, it'll be Jessica Mendoza going into battle for them with the ICAP CLZ. Now, remember, she rode to 2nd place in Ottawa just a couple of weeks ago. And for the Roadrunners, Daniel Coyle and Ivory TCS. Now, that's a rerun of what happened in Ottawa. On that occasion, it was Daniel Coyle who came out as the best finisher, but then they were fighting for the number 1 and 2 position. This time, they're fighting for the podium and fighting for 3rd. Going for the top 2 places, though, Team KPF are going to send out with Alison Robitaille and Esther Mugret. Alison with a raft of experience and can be very quick, as they all can here. That needs not saying. And she's going to be up against the Trelawney Trailblazers, Connor Swale and Castorano, one of the top 10 riders who's been a real feature of the Major League teams so far. So Connor Swale against Alison Robitaille for the number spots 1 and 2, the gold and the silver. And then battling for the bronze, we'll see the Roadrunners and the iCandy team. Now, the teams at the top of the table in the overall championship, Trelawney Trailblazers are in number 1 spot, and number 2 is the iCandy team. So again, little bit of ground may open up between those 2 teams here, but it means it's all the more important for iCandy to put themselves on the podium. The best they can do is 3rd. They cannot let those points slip away as we get further through the championship. Trelawney Trailblazers are looking strong, though. Can they get ahead of Team KPF? Now, Team KPF are currently at the bottom of the table. They have had the performances this season that's left them on the 8th position so far. This is a chance to get some good points here. Superb round from Ken Farrington, as you'd expect. Alison Robitaille will ride for them. Now, the fastest of those rounds we've just seen in round 2 was McLean Ward at 39.62. So that gives us a little indicator too of how fast they may go in this round. Some superb rounds, the likes of Ken Farrington around 40 seconds, but 39 they could dip down to get the fastest of the lot. We're heading into the bronze medal rounds. Good luck to them, and it's going to be the Roadrunners against iCandy.
Well, the Roadrunners against Team iCandy. That's the bronze medal jump off. These are the riders to tackle this challenge. It's going to be Jessica Mendoza with ICAP CLZ against Daniel Coyle, last night's winner of the Grand Prix qualifier, up with Ivory TCS. This is a serious matchup, and we've got just a couple of moments left. First rider is already into the ring. Jessica Mendoza comes forward for Team iCandy. Bit of face painting being going on for Team iCandy. Plenty to occupy families and spectators alike here at this fantastic show at Traverse City. But Jessica Mendoza has a job to do here. ICAP CLZ is her ride. She's trying to get a podium finish for Team iCandy, a 3rd podium finish of the season.
And off she goes. Bronze or nothing. Sharp turn there on the vertical.
Keeping the pace up here down this line. We've got a few places in this course where they can get the pace up and they can gallop. She turns well.
Landing on 22 seconds after the combination. So she's on schedule for a really good time.
Here she comes then down this final line.
Horsey jumping really well there on the Oxer, and then she's holding a bit before the last fence, not going flat out. for 41 seconds 68.
Well, there we have it then. Jessica Mendoza, nothing to add. 41.68 is her time. It's pretty good. It's not the fastest we've seen, but it's pretty good. Nothing to add, and that's the challenge. The time to beat for Daniel Coyle, the world-ranked number 13, is coming up next, and he has time to beat of 41.68 to get bronze for the Roadrunners. Daniel Coyle.
The Coyle family was always on the results on the last shows here, as you said already yesterday, and also in Ottawa. The Coyle family who nearly won everything up there.
Well, just a few moments until we bring you Daniel Coyle. He is heading down to the ring for this matchup, going for bronze for the Roadrunners. He's got quite the task ahead of him. 41.68 is the time to beat, but if anyone can do it, it is Daniel Coyle. This is a super quick course. He can take strides out, he can keep the pace up, he can turn with Ivory TCS, and as we've just been saying, they are so on form at the moment. Daniel Coyle has a job to do here. The Roadrunners have had one podium finish so far, and it was in Ottawa, so they come here fresh from that success of that win, and they want to finish third here. They don't want another fourth place. They were fourth in Vancouver. They want to be third. They want to get away from the Spico Spies, with whom they currently tie on points, and they want to climb up the rankings and see how high they can get in the overall season standings. Daniel Coyle then with Ivory TCS.
Here we go, 41 seconds 68 to beat. Bronze for Icandi or for the Roadrunners, for Jessica Mendoza or Daniel Coyle. You can see there's pressure on the face of Daniel Coyle. Really focused to start on this jump off. And off we go. Jumping already a little bit on the inside to win whatever little hundredths of a second.
Oh, what a treat to see this pair in action again. They are so quick here. Great turn back. Just slips over the Major League upright there.
Now looking at the combination, landing a little bit slower than Jessica Mendoza so far. A bit more on the outside turn there for the vertical. 41.68 to beat. Goes a bit more on the outside again there on the Oxer. 41.68. It's going to be tight. 41.68, last fence, 41.68, 41.54.
Daniel Coyle, that was tight. That was seriously, seriously tight. Just wants to keep us on the edge of our seats. 41.58 is his eventual time there, just having that confirmed, 41.58. But crucially, he's 1/10 of a second faster than Jessica Mendoza. That is so tight. He looks very pleased with that. He checks the scoreboard. He has a big smile on his face. He's done what he came here to achieve. He's clinched third place for the Roadrunners.
Well, very close between the two teams there, and Daniel Coyle just getting ahead. A rematch of that in Ottawa from a few weeks ago with Jessica Mendoza and Daniel Coyle going head-to-head. Daniel just creeping over the line as the one to get them into the bronze medal position. But now it's for the silver and the gold. Trelawney Trailblazers will send out Conasuelo and Castellano, and finally Alison Robitaille with Esther de Moret for Team KPF. Will it be as close as the battle was for the bronze? It's down to the fractions, that just the split seconds make all the difference here. But we know up there on the podium, it is going to be there for the Roadrunners once again as they get the bronze medal. Daniel Coyle bringing it home for them. McLean Ward on the floor. He put a brilliant round in the previous round. It's a good team effort to get on the podium. Who will fill the remaining two places?
Yes, that's the question. Who will fill those remaining two places? Team KPF and the Trelawney Trailblazers are the last two teams to jump here this afternoon. One will come out as the winner. One will come out with the silver medal. We've got the bronze medal already. That goes to the Roadrunners. The Trailblazers will head in first. For the Trelawney Trailblazers, it's Dara Kenny with Eddie Blue.
it's going to be a really interesting jump off for the gold medal. They need to go foot to the floor and deliver a really clever jump off course to get the fastest ride. As we saw, we have an information time of 41 seconds 54. We saw already McLean Ward already with the one of the fastest times, 39.62.
Well, Derek, he's got a pace up already, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He knows what he needs to do. He's heading to fence one already with some pace.
Already on the inside also there.
Eddie
Horse is
Blue
fresh.
Yeah, fresh adds a flourish. We don't want that to waste any time, though.
Needs to turn short there. Nice distance there. The 8 strides for the combination. Landing a bit slower there on 23.5 seconds.
Good inside line here, though.
He's making some ground again there. He's speeding up to the vertical and now to the last line. A bit more on the outside, helps out with the voice. 37, 38, 39, and going up to the last fence and finishing up on 42 seconds 88.
Well, Derek Kenny took the inside lines, as he often does. We see him always take those most efficient lines, good on the turns. He looks a fraction disappointed with that, 42.88. It is the slowest we've had so far in this final round. And he knows Alison Robitaille is coming just behind him, and she's hungry for gold. She's riding for Team KPF. Time to beat from Derek Kenny is 42.88. That's the kind of time where she has to keep all of the fences up. We've only had clears in the final round so far. Alison Robitaille has a big challenge. She has got all the pressure on her shoulders. She could get the best performance of the season for Team KPF. She will do in any case. They will have their best performance so far this year. This would be their second win in 2 years. It could be a real turnaround. Team KPF needed a good performance here. They needed to get off the bottom rung of the standings. And Alison Robitaille is the lady in charge. She is the lady in the position of trying to get them a win.
42 seconds 88 to beat KPF or Trailblazers. What as it will be. It's a good start into the jump off. Going a bit more on the outside there. Just a small difference. Going on the inside there now for the 8 strides, pushing up for the combination. Nice distance there. Don't see the time running up there. No on watch time she's sitting up there. But she was fast on the combination.
Yeah, really using her body well to get the balance there. She's a bit wider here now, but she's certainly got the pace up.
37.
Crowd getting behind her.
For the 42 seconds, 88, passing the finish line. 42 seconds, 82, 600ths of a difference. KPF gets the victory.
Well, she looks absolutely shocked. Wow, Alison Robitaille, what a day. What a day for this lady. What a day for Team KPF. That is something. What a treat to watch this. But Team KPF, they get the win.
Is it possible to, how is it possible to imagine this 1200ths of a difference between the bronze medal and 4th place and 800ths of a second? No, 600ths of a second. What a jump off. This is an incredible story.
600ths of a second is what Alison Robitaille has clinched it by. It's not even the blink of an eye. There is nothing in that. She points to the horse. She takes her winner's lap of honor, her victory gallop around this arena. The crowd are on their feet, cheering and clapping in appreciation of that performance. Oh my goodness me, Alison Robitaille, what a day. What a day for this lady.
Definitely good sport here today again. And a really good team competition.
Fantastic competition. Well, the Trailblazers won leg 2 of Major League Show Jumping here in Traverse City, so they have had a win here. Now they're second. They're going to hang on to the lead in the season standings for sure. But a win for Team KPF. Stephen Wild will take us through with Derek Kenny.
Well, so close between those two, 600th of a second. Dara Kenny, fabulous round from you. I mean, that's the blink of an eye, less than that.
Yeah, Alison had a great round. My horse is still a little bit green, and I probably should have done 7th to the last. I babied out a little bit there, but Alison had a great round, and it was her day.
Terrific round. When it gets that close, it's very hard between you to say, oh, I won or lost.
Well, I lost.
You were second. Let's put it that way. For you, terrific day for that. I mean, you've gave it a really good shot there from that point of view. Overall, for the team, Connorswell, Daniel Blumen, strong group there to put you up in the money once again.
Yeah, we're being consistent, and that's the most important thing. We've good riders and a good team, and we're trying our best.
Best effort. Well done there, Eddie Blue, super horse.
Yeah, I'm very excited for him. I think he's going to be a great horse for the future.
Certainly is. Goes very, very close. But like you say, you lost.
Exactly.
Thanks, Dara. Well done. Good sport. Okay, coming up, we're going to catch up with our winner as well. And that is Alison Robitaille. Alison's just going to come straight in with me here. Ali, well done. As we just said, 600th of a second there. You can't measure that.
Not really, no. I'm feeling very lucky at the moment.
You had the last little bit of advice down there from Ken Farrington as well. What was it?
Just to keep going and to use my judgment on the last line, especially when Dara did 8 in the last line. I was planning on doing the 7. He said if it doesn't come up great for you, then maybe just sit still at 8.
How are you enjoying that? Because you've been to Grand Prix all around the world. You looked a little bit shocked there, but you were quite enjoying it.
Absolutely. Always fun to win.
Overall, a terrific competition, and for Team KPF as well. That lifts you hopefully off the bottom of the table.
Exactly. Teammates and I were saying we were maybe cursed. I think this is our first time in the second round this year, so that's exciting. Maybe turn of the tide.
Well, you have, and as we said to Dara, you actually are the winner. Well done.
Well, thank you so much.
We're going to have a look at your winning round. It's going to be up on the screen just over there. So,
okay.
Alison, we're going to take a look at that winning round for you as well with Esther McGurry, and you can talk us through it. Let's take you from fence 1. Off you go.
Okay. Well, I went on the inside 7 there. Then she was great rolling back. I got way on the inside corner to the vertical here so that I could be on the inside track for the 8 strides to the double, which was a leave out, but she just walked to that leave out. She was great to come out of the double. Kent told me to go a little wider, but fast around to the vertical. So I jumped it not so much on an angle, which set my turn up for the roll back into the last line. And when that came up a little steady, I thought, okay, sit still in 8. And she's just such a naturally fast horse.
Well, very nice indeed. Alison, well done. You're going to get ahead for the presentation. Congratulations, Team KPF.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Super stuff, and brings us to a close on the broadcast. But we're going to have that presentation coming up for you in a few moments' time. We'll take a look at the league standings as well and see how that looks for the overall championship. May have made a little change there. Of course, it was a great start for Trailblazers, again getting in the money. So let's take a look at those overall standings for the championship after this stage. We're at the halfway points of the league for this year as well. What difference is that going to make here in Traverse City? Trailblazers on 77, Eye Candy in second on 55, so they stay pretty where they are. Team KPF, that's really interesting. Bottom of the table, 3 of them on equal 6th place now on 38 points. But remember, they're only 3 points away from the Crusaders in 5th. Roadrunners are just ahead by 5 points there. And then up in the 50s with Helios and Eye Candy with 2nd and 3rd. And the Trailblazers out still in the lead on 77, but the gap is closing. But down at the lower end of the table, it's Bunchier as well. So it's a good day for Team KPF. They close the gap up between the rest. The next few stages, and heading to Greenwich especially, it is going to be a big one indeed. Looking forward to that as we head there in early October. Look forward to that. Join us down the road for that as well as part of the Major League Show Jumping. And thank you from all of us here. We're going to get set for the presentation and bring things to a close here in Traverse City.